Although the last 4 years have been dominated by kayaks, my first paddling experiences were actually in canoes. Lake paddling during Boy Scouts turned into overnight canoe trips at summer camp. Now, those were mostly traditional two-person style canoes, and that'll teach you a lot about paddle strokes and teamwork out on the water. And not gonna lie, whenever I think back on those memories, it actually kind of makes me miss canoeing. So when I got back into paddling as an adult, I immediately went for sit-in kayaks. And I think you guys all saw me trade it in for a hybrid. And that kind of took me back to the canoe days, except I had the utility of a kayak. Honestly, it was a refreshing change. There are so many benefits to that hybrid. However, a few things led me to trade it in for my Sportsman 120. And I absolutely love that kayak so far. The sit on top life is pretty great. Where I live in Houston, we have a lot of beautiful flooded timber and coastal marshes that make for quick escapes from the city. Although my 120 sit on top has been crushing it on the rivers, I kind of wanted something to tour around my local waterways, and a sit on top isn't always necessary for that. Just like every single hobby, the itch for new gear was growing. Now, I briefly considered a traditional canoe, thinking it might be fun to take Lisa out on the water, but there were a few things that held me back from doing that. Canoes aren't exactly small and easy for grab-and-go adventures, and I don't know if I have too much more room in my garage for a canoe. It is full of kayaks and bicycles, and Lisa said I might need to start divesting of a few. So the whole point of a new boat would be to get something that's a little bit different than that 120, something that was smaller, lighter, and just easy for grab-and-go adventures. After all, every single time I go to car top the 120, I'm reminded of just how sturdy that thing is, especially since I'm doing it by myself most of the time. Honestly, it'd be really clutch to have something that was easier to throw on top of the Jeep and just get cruising. As I started to look, I noticed that Old Town came out with this really cool marsh camo pattern for a couple of their Sportsman series, and one of them really caught my eye. It was the Old Town Discovery Sportsman Solo 119 Hybrid. Based on my long-time experience with Old Town, I've probably been paddling them for 4 years now, I knew this would be something worth considering. At a high level, the Discovery Solo 119 was lightweight at 56 pounds, which is about 30 pounds lighter than my 120. It was also sturdy, and at 11 feet 9 inches, looked like it might track well for touring. It's agile, stable, and well suited for a double-bladed kayak paddle. And obviously with the hybrid style boat, there was plenty of room up front and in the back, along with a bunch of gear tracks, rod holders, and features like elbow pads and stuff. Another intriguing feature of the 119 was the 3-layer construction. Now, that's something they usually reserve for their bigger canoes and then also their premium Loon Series kayak. However, this 119 had that 3-layer construction, which I thought was really unique. What that is an outer shell, an inner foam, and then a liner. So what that allows for is durability, and then also makes it nice and stiff, so that as you're paddling, all that power is transferring into going straight and not into the flex of your boat. I would have liked to see a removable seat because I've gotten so accustomed to the lawn chair style removable sit on top kayak seats, and those things have been spoiling me. You can just pop it out and go set it by the campfire. This craft doesn't have that, which isn't really a deal breaker considering I won't be using this as my main camping vessel, but for those quick camping trips, I can always just throw a camp chair into one of my dry bags and I'll be good to go there. Old Town was definitely marketing this boat towards your outdoorsmen. They were advertising lots of space for hauling hunting gear like decoys or fishing rods and all the gear that goes along with that. And even though I'm not really into those two things right now, that is something I could see myself getting into in the future, especially the fishing component.
Fish on.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And so it's nice to know that I could grow into those sports and have the space in the future if I do need it. The usable boat capacity is 300 pounds, which is less than most of their sit-on-top fleet, but that's to be expected with a sit-in kayak. For me, that is more than enough. If I'm loading in 300 pounds, then I need to take some stuff out. However, I do know there's plenty of people that will load up their kayaks and canoes with gear and dogs and food and stuff for multiple days. So that's definitely something to consider. And lastly, one of those features that Old Town always knocks out of the park are the grab handles. They're hard plastic, which is great for being able to secure it on top of the car or towing it over flat sections, because you guys know we're always hiking here in these Texas rivers. But it also just makes it easy to transport around and carry. So it fits into that grab and go type of hybrid that I was looking for in the beginning. You know, I'm really excited about some of the nostalgia and getting back to the roots that this hybrid is gonna take me to. I love the camo look. I love that I'm gonna go explore some flooded timber and just have a light kayak that's easy to throw around. Old Town has been a great partner. I've stayed in contact with them and they sent me this boat because they're just really digging the stuff we're doing down here in Texas. And of course, like always, every single opinion I share about this boat is my own. I was really stoked to see the price though, and if you guys are interested, be sure to check out that link in my description. If you want to see me on the inaugural paddle and all the trips we're going to take this thing on, be sure to subscribe and check out my adventure videos where you can see tons of camping, hiking, and all sorts of shenanigans. We go to some cool places, and I think you guys might really enjoy that. See y'all on the next one. Bye.